Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something today that might just change your life if you let it sink in. Motivation is a beautiful thing, but it's temporary. It's like a spark. It'll light you up for a moment, get you feeling good, get you dreaming big, but that spark, it don't last. It fades. And when it fades, if you ain't got something stronger holding you up, you're gonna fall. That's why you can't build your life on motivation alone. You got to build it on discipline. Discipline is the real key. Discipline is what keeps you moving long after the excitement is gone. You know everybody's motivated on January 1st? Oh, everybody's fired up. Everybody's got resolutions, new goals, new dreams, gym memberships through the roof, notebooks filled with plans. People talking about this my year, and I love the energy, I do. But come February, come March, most of them done fell off. Why? It ain't because they ain't good people. It ain't because they didn't want it bad enough. It's because they was relying on a feeling. And feelings, ladies and gentlemen, feelings are liars. Feelings change with the weather. Feelings change with who texted you back. Feelings change when you're tired, when you're stressed, when life don't go your way. That's why you need discipline. Discipline don't ask you how you feel. Discipline don't care if you're tired. Discipline don't care if you're busy. Discipline says we made a decision, we got a goal, and we're going to honor it. Period. Discipline is the thing that gets you out of bed when your body says hit snooze. Discipline is the thing that gets you working when your mind says let's take a break. Discipline is the thing that makes you finish what you started even when quitting would feel so much easier. I'm telling you this from experience, not from some theory. You think I felt motivated every day of my life? You think I woke up every morning excited to grind, excited to hustle, excited to keep pushing when everything around me said I should quit? No, sir, no, ma'am. There were days when I was tired to my bones. There were days when the world told me no so loud I almost believed it. But I had built something stronger than motivation. We had built discipline, and discipline carried me when motivation couldn't. See, motivation is a good place to start. It's like the ignition switch. It gets the car started. But discipline is the engine. Discipline is what keeps you moving down the road mile after mile, year after year, dream after dream. Without discipline, you ain't getting nowhere. You just stuck in neutral, burning out all your gas and going nowhere fast. And here's the thing, discipline don't feel good at first. Nah, it's uncomfortable. It demands sacrifice. It demands you do what's right instead of what's easy. It demands you say no to distractions, no to temptations, no to the little voice inside that says, it's okay to slack off today. Discipline says, no, we work and we build and we become it. And the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the easier it becomes to flex it when you need it. Let me give you an example. Think about brushing your teeth. Now, you don't wake up every day motivated to brush your teeth. You don't say, man, I'm so excited to brush my teeth today. No, you just do it. It's a habit. It's automatic. You know it's necessary, so you make it happen without thinking. That's how your dreams got to be. That's how your goals got to be. They got to move from something you feel like doing to something you just do no matter what. When you live by discipline, you stop making decisions based on your emotions. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect day, the perfect opportunity. You start realizing that today is the opportunity. Right now is the opportunity. Discipline teaches you that consistency beats intensity. You don't got to move mountains every day. You just got to show up. You just got to take the next step. You just got to do what you said you was going to do, even if it's not glamorous, even if nobody's clapping for you, even if nobody's watching. You know what separates a professional from an amateur? It ain't talent. It ain't luck. It's discipline. Professionals do the work whether they feel like it or not. Amateurs do it when it's fun. Amateurs do it when it's easy. That's why the amateurs stay amateurs and the professionals get paid. That's why the amateurs stay dreaming and the professionals stay living. Discipline is the dividing line. You got to make a decision today that you ain't waiting on motivation no more. You got to decide that discipline is your new best friend. Discipline is your new ride or die. You make a schedule, you stick to it. You set a goal, you honor it. You create a plan, you follow it through. You don't let a bad mood, a bad day, or a bad week knock you off track. You keep showing up. You keep doing the work. You keep pushing yourself past the point where most people quit. That's how you win. The beauty of discipline is that it compounds. Every act of discipline you make today is an investment in your future self. Every time you show up when it's hard, every time you do the right thing when it's uncomfortable, you're building a stronger version of you. And that version, that's the version that's going to walk in the rooms you used to dream about. That's the version that's going to live the life you prayed for. Not because it was handed to you, but because you built it, brick by brick, step by step, discipline by discipline. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to change your life, if you want to reach your dreams, if you want to experience everything God has for you, you got to stop chasing motivation. You got to start practicing discipline. Discipline ain't flashy. Discipline ain't loud, but discipline is faithful. Discipline will never let you down. Build your life on it. Build your future on it. Build yourself on it. I need you to hear me loud and clear today. Consistency builds trust with yourself. See, a lot of people out here talk about trusting others, about loyalty, about people keeping their word, but let me tell you something real important. Before you start worrying about trusting anybody else, you better learn how to trust yourself first. And trust don't come from making promises. Trust comes from keeping promises. It comes from showing up for yourself over and over again until you prove to your own spirit that you can be counted on. Every time you tell yourself you're going to do something, wake up earlier, eat better, start that business, finish that book, and you don't do it, you chip away at your own trust. You teach yourself that your word don't mean much. You teach yourself that your goals are negotiable, that your dreams are optional, and after enough broken promises to yourself, you stop believing in yourself altogether. You stop dreaming big. You stop setting goals. Not because you're incapable, but because deep down, you don't trust yourself to follow through. That's why consistency is so powerful. It ain't just about making progress on the outside. It's about healing your relationship with yourself on the inside. It's about becoming the kind of person who can say, when I say I'm going to do it, it's done. No excuses, no backtracking, no quitting. Every day you show up, every day you honor your commitment, you put another brick in the foundation of self-trust. And once that foundation is strong, ladies and gentlemen, you can build anything on top of it. You ever wonder why some people seem so confident? It ain't arrogance. It ain't luck. It's because they trust themselves. They know if they set a goal, they'll do the work. They know if life knocks them down, they'll get back up. That kind of confidence don't come from compliments. It don't come from applause. It comes from the quiet, daily work of keeping promises to yourself. It comes from consistency. Let me break it down for you even simpler. Imagine you had a friend who kept canceling plans on you. Every time y'all scheduled something, they didn't show up, or they made excuses. How long would you keep trusting them? Not long, right? After a while, you wouldn't even take them seriously anymore. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happens inside your own heart when you keep canceling on yourself. You stop taking yourself seriously. You stop believing you're capable of change. And that's a dangerous place to live. But the good news is trust can be rebuilt, one small step at a time. You don't got to be perfect. You don't got to flip your whole life upside down overnight. You just got to start showing up consistently, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. You got to set small promises, ones you know you can keep, and then keep them. And every time you do, you send a powerful message to your spirit. I can trust me. I got me. Start with something simple. Maybe it's waking up 15 minutes earlier. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe it's writing down your goals every morning. Pick something you can win at and then stack those wins. Small victories add up. They create momentum. They rebuild your reputation with yourself. And once you start trusting yourself again, your whole energy changes. Your posture changes. Your voice changes. People can feel it. They can sense when somebody believes in themselves. And that belief is magnetic. Now, I ain't saying it's going to be easy. There will be days when the old you comes knocking, days when you feel like quitting, when the bed feels too good, when the excuses sound too sweet. But you got to fight for yourself. You got to remember why you started. You got to remember that every small act of consistency is bigger than just checking a box. You are reprogramming your mind. You are reclaiming your power. You are building a future that's built on rock, not sand. Consistency is what turns doubt into belief. It's what turns dreams into plans. It's what turns maybe one day into today is the day. But you got to be willing to do the boring work. You got to be willing to show up when nobody's watching. You got to be willing to do it messy, do it scared, do it imperfect, but still do it. Because every time you do, you keep a promise to yourself. And that's how trust grows. When you trust yourself, you stop second guessing so much. You stop hesitating every time an opportunity comes your way. You move with a different kind of energy. You walk into rooms like you belong there. You speak your goals out loud without fear of failure because you know even if you fall, even if you stumble, you got the consistency to get back up. You got the discipline to keep climbing. I want you to understand something powerful today. Success ain't reserved for the smartest. It ain't reserved for the richest. It ain't reserved for the most talented. Success is reserved for the ones who can be trusted. Trusted by others, yes, but most importantly, trusted by themselves. And trust is built brick by brick, day by day, act. You gotta make it your mission to become the kind of person you can count on. Somebody who says, if I say it, I mean it. If I dream it, I chase it. If I start it, I finish it. You gotta look at yourself in the mirror every morning and know, not hope, not wish, but know that you are showing up for your own life no matter how you feel, no matter what's going on around you. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the world will only believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. And that belief is earned through consistency, through discipline, through daily choices that stack up over time into a life you can be proud of, the life you were meant to live. Let me tell you something today that'll change the way you look at success forever. Consistency strengthens discipline. I don't care how talented you are, how smart you are, how much you got going for you. Without discipline, you ain't going nowhere. You might have the biggest dreams in the world, but without discipline, those dreams stay locked inside your head. And discipline, ladies and gentlemen, is not some gift you're born with. It's a muscle, it's a skill. And just like any muscle, you got to work it out daily. And the way you work out the muscle of discipline is through consistency. See, a lot of people think discipline is about making one big decision like, today I'm going to change my life, and then they wait for some magical motivation to carry them through. But that's not how it works. Discipline is not born out of big moments. Discipline is born in the small, boring, repetitive actions you do every single day, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. It's brushing your teeth even when you're tired. It's going to the gym when it's raining. It's making that call when you're scared. It's finishing what you started even after the excitement has worn off. Discipline grows every time you choose action over excuse. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're trying to get stronger in the gym. You don't lift one heavy weight one time and walk out with big muscles. No, you got to lift over and over, day after day, rep after rep. It's the repetition that builds strength. Same thing with discipline. Every consistent action you take is another rep, another curl, another squat. And over time, your willpower gets stronger. Your follow-through gets stronger. Your ability to push through discomfort gets stronger. Until one day you realize you're a whole different person than when you started. But here's the catch, ladies and gentlemen. You don't see results right away. That's where most people mess up. They want instant rewards. They want quick results. And when they don't see it fast enough, they quit. But discipline is a slow burn. It's delayed gratification. It's trusting that the seeds you plant today will grow into trees later. It's believing in the unseen. And consistency is what keeps you planting even when you ain't seen a sprout yet. When you are consistent, you train your mind that feelings don't run the show. Commitment does. See, feelings are flaky. Some days you feel motivated, some days you feel tired, some days you feel like a superstar, other days you feel like a failure. But consistency says, feelings, y'all can come and go, but I'm still doing what I said I would do. That's how discipline grows. That's how you turn into the kind of person who doesn't negotiate with laziness, who doesn't bargain with fear. I remember a time in my own life when I had big dreams but no discipline. I could talk a good game, I could dream big all day long, but when it came to daily action, I struggled. I'd start something strong and then fade away when it got hard. And every time I quit, it got easier to quit again. But then one day I realized if I wanted a different life, I had to become a different man. I had to force myself to be consistent even when I didn't feel like it, especially when I didn't feel like it. I had to show up broken. I had to show up scared. I had to show up tired, but I had to show up. And little by little, discipline started to grow inside me. It wasn't loud. It wasn't glamorous, but it was powerful, and it changed my life forever. You got dreams? Good. Dreams are free, but discipline is what's going to cost you. Discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers. And the price is daily consistency. Doing the work when it's boring. Doing the work when nobody claps. Doing the work when you'd rather be doing anything else. That's the price. But trust me, it's worth it. Because let me tell you something else. Discipline gives you freedom. Most people think discipline is about restrictions, about saying no to yourself all the time. But that's the wrong way to look at it. Real discipline gives you the freedom to create the life you want. Freedom from regret. Freedom from living paycheck to paycheck. Freedom from wondering, what if? When you are disciplined, you get to build a life on your own terms. You get to decide where you're going and actually get there instead of just talking about it. And the way you get that kind of freedom? Consistency. You want to be disciplined enough to save money? Start consistently saving even just $5 a week. You want to be disciplined enough to get fit? Start consistently walking around the block every day. You want to be disciplined enough to build your business? Start consistently working on it, even when it feels like nothing's happening. Small, consistent actions repeated over time, that's how you build ironclad discipline. It ain't sexy, it ain't flashy, but it's powerful. And the thing is, once you get a little taste of what real discipline feels like, you ain't never going back. Because discipline gives you confidence. It gives you pride. It makes you stand taller, walk prouder, speak louder. It makes you dangerous to fear and unstoppable to doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing you walk away with today, let it be this. You don't have to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented person in the room. But if you can be the most consistent, you will win. If you can build that discipline muscle through consistency, you will reach heights you can't even imagine right now. Your dreams are waiting on you. Your breakthrough is waiting on you. Your best life is waiting on you. But discipline is the bridge you got to cross to get there, and consistency is the hammer you use to build that bridge one nail at a time. Let me talk to you about something powerful today, your reputation. Because whether you realize it or not, every single day you are building a reputation for yourself. Every action you take, every promise you keep or break, every time you show up or you don't, it's all stacking up into a picture that people have of you. And one of the strongest ways you build that reputation is through consistency. That's right, not talent, not charm, not luck, consistency. Now, I need you to hear me on this. People don't remember what you did once. They remember what you do over and over. You could do something amazing one time, and people will clap, sure, but if you do something great again and again without fail, now they trust you. Now you're reliable. Now they know your name stands for something. Your reputation becomes your personal brand. And consistency is what paints that brand, stroke by stroke. I don't care if you're trying to be a business owner, a husband, a teacher, a singer, whatever it is. If you show up the same way with excellence over and over again, people will trust you, they will respect you, they will depend on you. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, in this life, having a reputation for being dependable is one of the most valuable things you can ever earn. Notice I said earn, not get, because a good reputation ain't handed out. It's earned through daily actions, repeated 1,000 times when no one's watching. And let me tell you something else. Your reputation will open doors your resume never could. Your reputation will get your name spoken in rooms you haven't even entered yet. People will recommend you, defend you, promote you because they know what you stand for. They know how you work. They know if they put something in your hands, it's going to get done. And it's going to get done right. And how do they know? Because you've been consistent. You've proven it not once, but day after day after day. Well, let's be real. Everybody can show up once. Anybody can have a good day here and there. But consistency is rare. Consistency is special. That's why it's valuable. And because it's rare, it makes you stand out. Think about it. How many people you know talk big but don't follow through? How many people start strong but finish weak? How many people show up once and disappear the next time? But you be different. You force yourself to be consistent. You force yourself to show up, to deliver, to be counted on. And watch what happens to your reputation. When you're consistent, people stop having to wonder which version of you they're going to get today. Are they getting the focused you, the lazy you, the inspired you, the moody you? No, they know. They're getting the same you, the steady, committed, reliable you. That builds trust. And trust, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most powerful currencies in the world. People will do business with you, partner with you, fall in love with you, all because they trust you. And they trust you because you're consistent. Now, some people think they can fake it. They think they can act right once in a while when it matters. But let me tell you, consistency cannot be faked. People can smell inconsistency a mile away. They might not call you out on it, but they notice. Every time you're late, they notice. Every time you don't follow through, they notice. Every time your effort drops, they notice. You might think you're getting away with it, but your reputation is being built whether you like it or not. So you might as well build one you're proud of. I remember early in my career, there were folks more talented than me, better looking than me, had more connections than me. But you know what they didn't have? They didn't have my consistency. They didn't have my grind. They didn't have that clock in, clock out mentality I forced on myself day after day. And little by little, while they waited for perfect opportunities or relied on natural gifts, I kept stacking wins. Small wins, big wins, it didn't matter. I showed up and gave my best every time. And over time, people started saying, you know what? If Steve says he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. That wasn't luck. That wasn't magic. That was consistency. And the crazy thing about it is consistency don't just change how people see you, it changes how you see yourself. When you're consistent, you start believing in yourself on a whole new level. You start trusting yourself. You start walking different, talking different, moving different. Because you know you got a track record. You know you can count on yourself even when things get tough. And that kind of self-respect is priceless. It's powerful. It's magnetic. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you from my own life, when you build a reputation for being consistent, you become unstoppable. You become the person people look for when something important needs to get done. You become the person people bet on. You become the one people want on their team, in their corner, in their life. And it all starts with small, everyday choices. It ain't glamorous, it ain't always exciting, but it's real. And it's strong. And over time, it becomes unshakable. So today, right now, you got to make a decision. Are you going to be someone people have to guess about, or are you going to be someone they know they can count on? Are you going to build a reputation of excuses or a reputation of excellence? Because either way, you're building one. Every single day, every single action, it's all adding up. Force yourself to be consistent, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when nobody's clapping for you yet. Force yourself to be consistent until it becomes second nature. Because when you do that, your reputation will speak for you. Your name will carry weight. Your life will change. And all because you made a choice to show up again and again, no matter what.